Swine flu fears. Reporters are not all that eager to go to ground zero of any plague site. This is because it's very frightful to go into a place that has diseases we worry about. Maybe I'll get it myself. And so people tend to try to find some way of getting out of these sorts of jobs. We now know that the swine flu epidemic that seems to be brewing now has a locus, a starting point, which happens to be in Oaxaca, Mexico, which is a town next to a United States corporate pig farm in the jungles up there. This is Smithfield Farm has these holding tanks for holding water that they use to muck out the stalls where the pigs live. Pigs do not live out in the open. They tend to be kept in these cement stalls that have to be flushed out every day, otherwise it makes a huge, huge mess. And these waters go into holding pens where they evaporates out, and then you have the manure, which is moved elsewhere. And this is a great place for breeding diseases. And the people there complain about this farm causing problems, health problems in the past. The pigs are different from other domestic animals. Horses, sheep, goats, and cows tend to range out in the open in fields, though lately they're keeping cows confined to barns, which I don't think is very healthy. The large grazing animals do not do the kind of damage that pigs do in a farm. The pigs will dig up everything, which is why they have always been kept in pens, like we see here with this tapestry from the Middle Ages, a little stout pen to keep them from running amok. One time my mother woke up after she heard some noise outside, and she took the flashlight and saw that her garden was completely turned over. And she said, "Why would someone come over to my house and rototill my garden in the middle of the night?" And then she saw the little pigs running away. They were wild pigs that tore up her entire garden. This is why pigs and humans share a number of diseases, because to keep track of the pigs you had to live very close to them, and they're very messy, and we happen to be a very messy kind of creature ourselves. And so the transmission point between pigs and humans is quite strong. We share too many diseases. So let's read about the Mexican response to this disease. I get emails from people all over the world, and one person sent me a link to a Mexican medical operative's website. He has been interviewing people and talking about his own problems dealing with this plague. I want to read this and share it to with everybody, but I also cannot vouch for the veracity of these stories, except they sound quite real. I am a specialist doctor in respiratory diseases and intensive care at the Mexican National Institute of Health. There is a severe emergency over the swine flu here. More and more patients are being admitted to the intensive care unit. Despite the heroic efforts of all the staff, patients continue to die daily. The truth is that antiviral treatment and vaccines are not expected to have any effect, even at high doses. It's a great fear amongst the staff. The infection risk is very high amongst the doctors and health staff. There's a sense of chaos in the other hospitals. We do not know what to do. Staff are starting to leave, and many are opting to retire or apply for holidays. The truth is that mortality is even higher than what is being reported by the authorities, at least in the hospital where I work. It is killing 3 to 4 patients daily, and it's been going on for more than 3 weeks. It's a shame, and there's great fear here. Increasingly, younger patients aged 20 to 30 are dying before our helpless eyes. This is a great sadness amongst the health professionals here. Now, there's a reason why the young and strong are dying. This is exactly what happened in 1918 with that pandemic and in the Hong Kong flu epidemic. I was one of the early victims of the Hong Kong flu epidemic, and I was an athlete. I was extremely strong. I did long distance running and mountain climbing, and that disease nearly killed me. My lymph glands swelled up so big they thought I had the bubonic plague, and they took blood samples and sent it off to the CDC to find out. Instead, it turned out I had H1N1 virus infections that had gone toxic and caused my immunosystem to just explode on me. My immunosystem, far from protecting me, nearly killed me. Here is a report from the CDC about all this. The cytokine storm is a systematic expression of a healthy and vigorous immune system resulting in the release of more than 150 inflammatory mediators. It is believed that cytokine storms were responsible for many of the deaths in the 1918 influenza pandemic, and which is why it kills mostly young adults. Now, I know it's scary when I read this kind of thing, and these kind of epidemics are very frightful. But there's certain aspects to it which we must always remember. One is, it doesn't kill everybody. Not even everybody who gets it, nor does everybody get it. For example, in my case, the doctor and nurse who attended me during the first hours of my illness both got the disease, both became extremely sick, and had as much trouble as I had recovering from it. On the other hand, the people who took me in when I collapsed in the street that day when I first had the first symptoms of the disease never got it. And no one in my family got it. And not a single friend of mine got it. It skipped over people. And this is one of the queer things about these situations. It goes from person to person to person, and you don't know who's going to be the one who gets to be chosen. In my case, I know I got it from giving someone mouth-to-mouth resuscitation when I was working with the Berkeley Free Clinic. But not everybody's going to be that intimate. All we can do is practice some care in ourselves by keeping ourselves clean, washing the hands, and being cautious. When you see someone sick, don't run away. You must assist them. You actually do more good by doing that than by leaving them to spread the disease wherever they happen to fall. That's why I recommend no panic, but rather care, watchfulness, and cleanliness, obviously, is the best thing of all. And good luck for everybody. My heart goes out to all the people who are suffering this terrible disease. I hope it gets stopped in its tracks. I hope that they do good research so we can prevent these kind of diseases from mutating on us and causing these kinds of problems. This one in particular has 4 different elements that have come together to create a new plague. And this is why medical studies are important. This is not a conspiracy to spread disease. No one, not even a crazy person, wants to spread a viral disease that's this capricious. Because if anyone wants to plan on ruling the earth, they certainly can't do it if they're the weak, obviously. So don't even think about this being a conspiracy unless you believe in the viral kingdom attacking us for their own nefarious reasons, which I wouldn't put past them, frankly. After all, they once ruled the earth 1 billion years ago. And this is Elaine Supkis of Culture of Life News.